What's going on, guys? John here, the Wolf of Ecom. In this video, I'm going to give you some of my top tips on setting yourself up for success, even if you have a disabled Facebook account, disabled ad account, disabled business manager, or even a restricted profile when it comes to advertising. Let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing you need to be aware of is right now, I'm filming this late October, and Facebook has been on a rampage to disable or permanently delete or remove the access of anything that they automatically deem in violation of any kind of policy, all right? And unfortunately, this is actually not just impacting the people doing the wrong things, but most people doing the right things, all right? There's very few people I've spoken to that have not had some kind of issue where an ad was at least incorrectly disabled, or where maybe they've even lost the ability to advertise with their profile, okay? So I wanna give you my top tips after I've spent the last 6 months finding ways to work with and around Facebook's ridiculous policies when it comes to disabling and removing your ability to use your platform for advertising, all right? So the first thing that I wanna start with is that you definitely do wanna have multiple Facebook profiles at your access. Why is this? Real simple. Because you can have all the business managers, all the ad accounts in the world, but if you are suddenly disabled and restricted from advertising, you can't even share access to those assets that you have, the business managers, ad accounts, because your profile is locked out. You can see everything, you go look at your data, but you can't touch anything. You can't actually do anything. You can actually randomly, you can increase budgets and turn off ad sets, but that's literally all you can do. So the first thing you have to keep in mind is that you definitely need multiple profiles. So if we look at my computer real quick, you're gonna see here that this is what we call multi-login. Multi-login is a software that I explained in another video that allows you to safely have multiple profiles on one computer, okay? So this software is showing a different IP address, basically a different computer in a sense, for each one of these profiles. Because one of the red flags you'll run into with Facebook's system is if you run multiple profiles on one computer, you could probably get away with 2 or 3, but if you have like 5 profiles being used on one computer, you're definitely gonna have those profiles go into a review process where you get locked out and you can't even log in, and then you may sometimes not even get the profile back if it doesn't pass their automated system review, which is BS, but it is what it is. So having multiple profiles is absolutely a must. That's where I recommend you start. So I would have at least 1 or 2 other friends or family member that don't really use their Facebook profile anymore. Just ask them if you could use it for advertising, right? Have another device would probably be best if you have a second computer, or you could use my multi-login video that you can see in the link to the description. Underneath this video, you can actually see how to take those steps to set this up, or you can have something crazy like mine where I have like 20 different profiles that I can use should I lose access to my main one, okay? The second thing this is gonna allow you to do is it's gonna give you access to more business managers and more ad accounts. As you may know, or probably know at this point, if you've been advertising long enough and have scaled enough, Facebook limits you to creating 2 business managers per profile. Technically a 3rd if you include Instagram and use the hack that I've shown in other videos, but mainly 2 business managers per profile, and you can roughly have about 5 ad accounts. You can get more, but it's not even worth it in my opinion. I'll talk about that later. But starting with the profile, you can kind of see how this expands access to advertising and creating backups, okay? The next thing is having backup business managers, backup ad accounts. So my tips on this, very simple. So let's say you don't have friends or family that would trust you just taking their Facebook. You simply say, a good way to pitch it is, hey man, because a lot of people do get freaked out if you start asking for like their business manager and stuff. They're like, oh, I don't want to be attached to that, which makes sense. But we're actually detaching them from that if they're cool with giving it to us. So basically you say, hey Mike, I need access to more ad accounts as Facebook limits the amount of money I can spend for my online business. Would you be cool with giving me your business, your manager, your ad accounts? They'll probably have no idea what you're talking about and say, yep, you won't even be attached to it. I'm literally gonna add myself and then remove you from it. You won't have a fingerprint on it, okay? Most people will be cool with it if you have a good amount of trust with them. And then basically all you're gonna do, if I go into a business manager real quick, we'll open up one of these many profiles. You actually get a preview of what this looks like. So I'm gonna go into business settings. And then all you will do is you will hit this add button from after they've created it. And if you don't know how to create one, very simple. Once you're logged in on their profile, just go business.facebook.com. It would then take you to this page right here, you would create an account and just follow the steps. So like if I hit this, hopefully this doesn't disable me. I would just fill this out, fill out the second one, and then you'll actually open up to something like this or the page in between this. And one thing I do want to recommend before I show you what to do, Facebook also has a tendency to auto disable, especially right now if you take too many consecutive steps and actions at once with creating ad accounts, creating business managers, inviting new people. So I recommend you do this like a day at a time. So like, for example, day one, on their computer, have them create the business manager. On day two, have them make the ad account, right? So you come down here, you go add, create new ad account, just follow the steps, very simple. On day three, then they're gonna go to people, and this is how they invite you. Add, you could really put any email here, but just use the one that is on your profile, or if you're adding one of your backup profiles, if you have multiples, backup profile at gmail.com or wherever it is, or it could be anything. Then you hit next. You can add this now, or you could just come back and do it. Okay, and then we're gonna hit resend, and this is a little trick. Grab this, and you can actually save this link if you're not ready to invite someone yet. This is a good way to have a backup, because remember, you could wake up and everything be restricted and you're completely locked out, but you could like see your ad spending. It's crazy. By having this link, you can invite another profile, so you're not completely locked out. Okay, so I recommend you save that. I'm actually gonna save that right now. So that is how you would invite yourself if they're just giving you access to the business manager. Another thing too, if they're giving you the profile, I recommend you do this all on their computer in the same order. Invite yourself as well as a backup. And then when you're ready, after maybe 1 or 2 more days, then you bring their profile to your computer if they're giving it to you, or your multi-login if you're using the software. Why? Well, remember I mentioned that Facebook is very strict on consecutive actions. So if you take too many actions, if you make the business manager, you make that account, you invite someone, you do it all in 1 day or in 2 days, and then you also bring it over to a new computer, you do the security verification, maybe even update the password and the email, all those things are gonna stack as like red flags, like a big pile of red flags, and you will probably have this thing disabled. The business manager will auto get disabled, which is super hard to get back. I haven't really gotten many of those back. And then you could even lose the profile as well, which is super frustrating. So these are the steps you want to take. I talk about how to create unlimited profiles in another video. Just to give you a quick update, the order that I would do if I had to make a bunch of these, which I have had to do, first would be friends and family that trust you, that will just give it to you. The second would be a close tie between making your own profiles, which you can do with a simple phone like this. So you can get one of these for an unlocked cheap Nokia phone for 20, 30 bucks, maybe as much as 50 bucks on eBay. I would get like 3 to 5 of those, and then you basically would create a new profile. You can just take a new picture of yourself that hasn't been seen anywhere on the internet, because it wants original content. You can't just rip someone else's profile picture. It would definitely flag the profile and you'll probably lose it. And then you can build like a whole new profile, right? And you need to move extra slow with those. You'll see steps for how to do that in another video. I'm not gonna go deep into that now, but it's a little bit of a longer process, what some people call farming profiles. So it's kind of funny. The next thing would be a close tie with actually buying profiles, right? So I've actually done this. I've put up ads on Craigslist that say, hey, I'm looking to buy more profiles of people that I don't want your personal information. You can delete all your friends, you can delete all your history. I just need it for advertising, just so I can spend more money with my online business. So people will do this, and I recommend if you do this that you first of all don't actually pay them before they give you the information, okay? Super important, kind of obvious, but at the same time, people will try to scam you. So the first thing you do is you tell them that you need their login to make sure that you can log on your computer with no security flags or issues. Once they give it to you and then you log in, I recommend you immediately change over the email, change over the phone number, and sign them out of all their devices that are logged in, and then you send them the payment for it, right? I'd paid maybe 30 to 50 bucks for people's profiles, and also you want profiles that are at least a year old, or they're gonna probably run into the same kind of new profile issues as they don't have as much trust built up with Facebook. So there's another good way to have backup business managers, backup ad accounts. And then the last and least I would do would be with what's called FB accounts. These profiles have a high tendency to get flagged and basically just get restricted where you can't use them. So you could buy like 5 of them, for example, for $67. They send you within minutes the logins, and then you want to treat them just like their profiles you created on a phone like this. But remember, they do have a super high tendency of getting flagged. Like this specific profile is one of my last remaining from a package I purchased. But yeah, so those are the steps of what to do to work around or circumvent, whatever you want to call it, the BS policies that Facebook has been enforcing the last 1 to 2 months. It's been a freaking nightmare. So hope this sets you up to work around some of these headaches where you can still move forward, keep your business moving. Whatever you're selling, I'm not here to judge. I'm just here to show you the technical, strategic side of how to get e-commerce to work for you, okay? Because even if you're selling the cleanest products with the best brand and the fastest shipping, the best customer service, there is the chance that you still run into these kinds of issues for absolutely no reason. And these are the answers to your problems, okay? So go ahead and rewatch this video time after time. I'll include some links in the description of how you can also use multi-login and also how to create multiple unlimited profiles. And I might even have those somewhere on this video here at the end as the next video you should watch, all right? I'll see you in the next video. And always check out our link in the description for our free Facebook group and also some of our other cool resources such as our Wolf Academy, okay? We just launched that, super exciting, at a really great price and a big discount, all right? See you in the next video.